Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. We got our loud and local band of the week, and this week it's Archon. Got our loud and local band of the week, Archon. You want to find out how you can get their music? Steve knows.
I love it. They're a fully instrumental band. They said they didn't even start off intending to be an instrumental group, but they're growing up in Yelm. They couldn't find a lead singer, so they just said, screw it. Let's just be an instrumental band, and they sound great.
And if you would like to get more info, just go to the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com. And if you want more local music, then Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, it's Loud and Local. 2 solid hours of great Pacific Northwest music, bands like Archon. We made it. It's Friday. It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Friday. Getting down Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying. Yes, partying. Please. Happy Friday, everyone. And before the texters get out there, yes, Danny was jumping around.
He always is jumping.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Danny was jumping, wasn't he?
Yep, he almost moshed into me, but, that's okay.
Felt good.
Yeah, I could tell.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everyone. Let's get to our contestant. We got Joe Dredd in Seattle. Joe, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, and I tell you, Steve needs to go down, so I'm bringing some backup. I got my wife helping me out
Healy?
here. We're gonna
Joe and Healy. Nice. It's a handicap match. Woo-wee.
That's right. And you know what? I got to warn you, Steve. We came to chew gum and kick butt, and we're all out of gum.
All out of gum? No, Roddy. They live. I'm putting on my glasses. I can tell you're an alien. I was actually going to tag Joe the other day because I was on Instagram, and I don't know if he saw this on Kiss's either social media, one of their social media pages. They shared a goalie mask that somebody made that has Gene Simmons makeup, but also has the mouth, and it's just covered in blood.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
It is amazing. I'll have to try and find it again and tag you on it, Joe, because I know you're obviously a huge Kiss fan. It's the coolest looking goalie mask to the point where even Kiss shared it and didn't charge the guy for using Gene's image.
Wow, that's wild.
That's amazing.
It's the coolest goalie mask, Kiss-inspired goalie mask I've seen.
That is so cool. All right, Steve, get out of here. For those playing at home, Joe will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Joe, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Let's get it on.
The network CW gets its name from CBS and what famous film production company?
Warner Brothers.
Yes. What chemical substance is abbreviated CO2?
Carbon dioxide.
Yes. Who was the head coach of the Seahawks right before Pete Carroll?
Gosh. I pass.
Who played Penny on The Big Bang Theory?
Kaylee Cuoco.
Yes. What rock band is sometimes referred to as the Bad Boys from Boston?
Aerosmith.
Yes. What planet is tilted on its axis more than any other?
Uranus.
Yes.
Right.
Hey, you said it right. I love that. Zoe Deschanel played Jess on what Fox sitcom?
New Girl.
Yes. What vitamin is milk fortified in the U.S. to combat rickets?
C. Vitamin C.
No.
Vitamin D.
Yes. What actor was married to Miley Cyrus?
Was that damn Hemsworth kid?
More specific.
Liam Hemsworth.
Yes. Chipper Jones is famous for playing what sport?
Chipper. I'm not golfer. Well, let's see with golf. A name like Chipper?
No. And Joe and Healy, you get 8 correct.
Not bad.
Very good score.
Yeah, Steve's going to get Chipper Jones, though.
Savvy.
Yeah, but Steve's got to get to that question first.
We'll see if he can.
Exactly. This might be a really good game.
I just tagged Joe while I was in the other room on Instagram of that Kiss goalie mask. And for those that want to check it out, just go to my stories at I'm Steve Miggs. You can see that goalie mask. It's pretty awesome.
Thanks, Steve.
Of course. I'm a giver.
Where you're about to give it to him right now.
I had some time to kill in the other room.
Yeah, about a minute. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah!
What the network CW gets its name from CBS and what famous film production company?
Warner Brothers.
Yes. What chemical substance is abbreviated CO2?
Carbon dioxide?
Yes. Who was the head coach of the Seahawks right before Pete Carroll?
Oh, stupid Jim Mora.
Yes. Who played Penny on The Big Bang Theory?
Kaylee Cuoco.
Yes. What rock band is sometimes referred to as the Bad Boys from Boston?
Aerosmith.
Yes.
Not New Kids on the Block. Some thing.
Oh, wow. What planet is tilted on its axis more than any other?
That would be Uranus, right?
Yes.
Really?
Zoe Deschanel played Jess on what Fox sitcom?
New Girl.
Yes. What vitamin is milk fortified with in the U.S. to combat rickets?
D?
Yes. What actor was married to Miley Cyrus?
Liam Hemsworth?
Wow, yes. Chipper Jones is famous for playing what sport?
Golf?
No.
Tennis?
No.
Chipper. Yachting.
No.
Wow. Thought he would know that one.
Football?
No. Think a lot more right now.
Right now.
Oh, no.
Basketball.
No.
No, he's a baseball player.
There we go. Baseball.
Yeah.
And
he
Steve,
was a baseball player.
Yep. You managed to actually win, though. 9-8.
Oh,
so
sorry,
close.
Joe and Healy.
Congratulations, Steve.
That's right. Keep
Now
chewing
he's-
that bubble gum.
Now he's beating couples. Yeah. I mean, there's no stopping Steve.
I know, just like Nailed It. They just started doing team efforts right now. We've got the team beat
really?
mix. Oh, dude, the new season is so great.
I'm glad they changed it up a little bit because we're getting a little bored of it.
Yeah, they have 2 people together, so the assumption is that with 2 people it'll make the cakes better.
No.
That is not the case. It is quite amazing with when it comes down to all of that. The only one you did miss, you figured out that Chipper Jones was famous for playing baseball.
Played for the Atlanta Braves, a great player.
Yeah, the only reason why I know that is is because TBS always played the Atlanta Braves stuff, so no matter what I'd watch on there, you'd always end up on Braves baseball game.
That's why I was a fan of Dale Murphy as a kid.
Me too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Number 3.
Well, congrats on your win, Steve.
And people were wondering because they're like, I thought this was going to be a WrestleMania team. It's the 850 Beat Migs. We're going to have a WrestleMania battle.
Yes. Ben decided that he wanted to call you out on your own turf.
Yes.
With wrestling, so we're going to have a one that really signifies WrestleMania.
And I have a nitpick question just because I want to know how to answer questions for you in the future because... What do you call Jim Mora? Because there are 2 Jim Moras.
Junior. I know. I was going to actually.
Oh, I had no idea.
You said yes, and I was about to say Jim Mora Jr.
Yeah,
It
okay.
is-
So
it
Rev
is the
didn't
son.
know, but
I
yeah,
had
his,
no idea. So
his
yeah.
dad also was a football coach. It was a football coach, so that's why it's like,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But he never coached the Hawks. His kid did, though, and well, I'm glad we have Pete. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, man. That was a rough go.
That truly was.
That was almost like he was like the ginger, the palate cleanser between Holmgren and
Yeah.
Pete Carroll. I was like, what's the
He actually was. He was the sorbet. You're right, Steve.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, so congratulations to you, Steve.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. That was a lot of fun. Good way to start the Friday. Someone's mad at me. How do you not know Chipper freaking Jones? Jeez. I'm sorry.
Well, there are people that aren't baseball fans, and especially, National League Atlanta Braves. Like, why would you care? A lot of Mariners fans probably didn't know who he was either if you didn't pay attention to National League Baseball.
Yeah, but the minute you said baseball, I was like, oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. Duh. Now I remember the name.
Yeah. He was a good player. I mean, look, you should probably, if you're a halfway baseball fan, you should have known him, but some people don't.
Hey, I failed you.
We got sorry, man. Why would a guy try to ship himself in a crate from Australia to the UK? Yeah, try to ship himself in a crate. You'll hear from him at 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Everything is better electrified. Like the guitar, toothbrushes, or cars. And Hyundai has the widest range of electrified vehicles on the market, including the first ever Tucson and Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. You can use electric when you want it or gas when you need it. It's your journey. Evolve it beyond the pump in the 2022 Tucson or Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer or learn more at HyundaiUSA.com. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. There's a guy from Wales who shipped himself from Australia to the UK in a crate back in 1965 because he couldn't afford the flight home.
Huh. I wonder what ticket prices were going for back. I mean, obviously a lot cheaper than now, but I'm curious like what they were in comparison to how they are now.
Yeah, but, I do remember, Steve, in the 60s, being able to fly was a super luxury. Mm-hmm. And so...
Same with 2021, though.
Yeah.
Reasons.
I mean, right. I mean, right now you can get some cheap flights for $50 flight. I mean, I've seen Alaska with some really amazing prices, but back then I just remember that, it was sort of like McDonald's. I mean, going to McDonald's was considered a luxury in the 60s. And I remember that plane flights, whoever was on a plane, if somebody's, in my group when I was growing up, if one of the parents said, I went on a plane. I remember my parents going, oh, look at him, Mr. Fancy. I was on a plane.
The first time
seemed to be out of people's reach.
First time I ever got on a plane was when I was in college. Wow. It was for like a fraternity convention that they sent me to. So, and I remember just being like, this is so crazy. I thought I was like Mr. Big Baller. And I was like sitting in the middle seat of coach.
I'm with you, Steve.
I'm flying for
I
free.
do remember that. I do. And I think I was older than you because I think I wasn't on a plane until I was in, but really when I got my first radio job and I got my first interview, mm-hmm. I had to fly somewhere. And I felt like you said, oh my God, look at me. I'm a jet setter. I don't know what the prices were, but obviously this dude was like, I can't afford it. So he said, instead of flying to the UK from Australia, I will mail myself in a crate.
And again, he did this back in 1965. And so he's releasing a book about it. And we've seen all sorts of funny stories. I mean, just in the recent Borat, that's what he did. He basically had his daughter mail to him from, whatever the Ekistan he's from. And the box he was in barely fit him. He said the whole experience was really, really scary.
It was the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. It was terrifying. I spent most of my time, I think, in trying to control myself, i.e. calm myself down, because I didn't know whether I was dreaming it, whether it was actually happening. Was I dreaming about it? Was it a nightmare? Was I really there? And then in between all that, of course, I couldn't breathe properly half the time, couldn't move. Certainly after the first, perhaps 36 hours, my muscles were all seizing up.
Dude, I'm looking at the story, and it says that the crate, it was a wooden crate, and he had to sit there with his knees folded up to his chest. They gave him a bottle of water, a flashlight, an empty bottle, as he said, for obvious reasons, a small suitcase, a pillow, and a hammer to break out. And then outside of the crate, it said, fragile and handle with care and this side up.
The fact that they allowed him to do that, and look, I don't know back then, but, Steve, it's very cold where as far as when humans aren't flying.
Mm-hmm.
They don't pressurize the cabin for, I think, for any sort of packages or like that. And it's really, really cold, without, having the proper climate situation. So I'm not surprised he had a hard time breathing and was really uncomfortable, because you're not supposed to travel that way.
Right. Yeah. No one really allowed it. It was just him and his, the closest work buddies. They made up this whole scheme to mail him home.
Oh, man, it's surprising he's still alive.
36 hours he had to be in that.
36 hours. And like I said, if it's not a pressurized cabin, oh man. Oh wow. That's insane. That just is insane.
Now, it's the lukewarm topic of the day.
Okay, so this guy shipped himself from Australia to the UK in a crate because he couldn't afford the flight. And he does say, yep, that was the stupidest thing that he's ever done in his life. So, we got to ask you the same thing. What was the stupidest thing that you've ever done in your life? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. All right. What was the stupidest thing that you've ever done in your life? Your calls, your texts after the Beastie Boys on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
A guy shipped himself from Australia to the UK in a crate because he could not afford the flight. And he's like, yeah, that was the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. How about you? What was the stupidest thing that you've ever done in your life? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Ricky in Gig Harbor, you are on The Rock.
Yeah.
Ricky.
Statute of limitations.
Okay.
Okay. So what you're saying is you're fine. You can't be in trouble.
Yeah, okay. This was quite a few years back.
Right.
Me and my buddy were out on an island called Mackinac Island in Michigan.
And that'll be all.
You know what? Maybe it's best you don't share it.
Yeah, maybe the FBI is still looking for him now.
Yeah, I feel like his phone was tapped, and they're like, there he is. Get him.
We're on to you.
Yeah.
Finally, he's about to admit to it.
All righty then. Well, that worked out.
Well, now I feel like this weird, resolution issues.
Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right, Steve. I got those, too. It's like, it probably wasn't a great story, but I still want to know.
I hope we'll find out at some point.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. So how about you? What was the stupidest thing you've ever done in your life?
Oh, man. Someone said I kicked an Alaskan brown bear in the butt while at the dump. I'm still alive.
What?
Yeah, and still stupid.
Wow. Gosh, my brain just doesn't even that doesn't even come up as a possibility in my brain. My brain wouldn't even come up with that whole It was just like, get the hell out of here is the only thing that would show up in my brain.
Right. The minute I see a bear, I'm figuring out how I can get as far away from that bear as possible.
And where I can find new pants.
Wow. Quite possibly, yes. That's just stupid.
No.
How about this one, BJ? This is insane. I'm reading this and I'm just trying to put myself in the position of this person and imagine doing this. So he says, I was in a really bad mood, and the owner of our company sometimes would send these dumb rah emails. So one time I just had it, and I hit reply all, and I said, will you just please shut the F up?
Oh.
Yes, I was fired that day.
Wow.
Could you imagine that? If our big boss, they send those emails from time to time.
Oh, they do.
And if you clicked reply all and told them to shut up.
You've picked out my what I'm going to do on the last day on the job. Wow. I mean, why wouldn't I do that? Just like,
So when we see that email, we just know it's on.
Or off. Yeah. I've entered retirement.
Will you just please shut the F up?
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Imagine being like the bigwig and you see this reply all and then just like, who is this person?
See, to me, I would office space that guy. That's a straight shooter with management potential written all over him.
Keep him around.
Keep him around. All right, let's go to, the Radical Russian, Steve. Look who's back from Montana telling us about dumb things he's done. Hey, Rad Rush, how you doing, buddy?
Good morning, DJ. How are you, my friend?
Doing well, my friend. All right, so, you seem like a pretty intelligent guy, but, even the smart people, they do stupid things. What did you do?
Well, BJ, I have done some stupid things in my life. I'm not the smartest person I know. But believe me, I think the dumbest thing I ever did, or stupidest thing I ever did, was the first time I visited Seattle, I tried one of your local drinks, that all the kids are drinking. The first time I come over was maybe teenager. And I can put a good bottle of vodka down, okay? But when I was a teenager, I can drink a good bottle of vodka. I'm okay. I'm good to go.
If you can do a fifth of vodka and be okay, yeah, you're quite an all-star.
But no, I tried the local stuff that all the kids. This was all the craze back in the 90s. The MD 2020.
Oh, Mad Dog, baby.
No, this is not Mad Dog. This is Mad Red Rush. Not good. Not good at all, my friend.
What happened, or do you even remember what happened, and how much of it did you drink?
I remember very clearly. I said, hey, this one's very pretty, this orange one here, and this one looks almost like turquoise. These are both pretty drinks. I'm going to drink them both. Yes, this was a recipe for projectile vomiting, my friend.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, I mean, I think, I feel like when it comes to drinking, for me anyway, the first time you go, what the hell? You're stupid because you go, I'm going to do this, or spending your 21st birthday with your friends and letting them basically just inject you with everything.
Dude, I think that's just a rite of passage. At some point, you have to get drunk on Mad Dog. Then you never had it?
You have to?
I feel like that was like the
Never tried it.
Oh my gosh, like that was like. And maybe it was just a thing in college. It was like R4 Loco or something.
Oh.
Yeah, now Danny's speaking your language.
It's fortified wine. I didn't even know what it was, but it was just...
Oh, it looks so yummy.
MD 2020. Yeah, it looks delicious and all that.
Yeah.
But it's nasty.
I heard too much.
Real nasty.
I knew too much to even try it. I'm like, I don't want to get sick. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, that's the worst hangover, too.
Yeah.
It's like super sugary alcohol.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, we've done Bang Fridays. Why don't we do Mad Dog Mondays?
We were thinking the exact same thing, Rev. I thought,
what part of my statement where I've already said I made that decision when I got to Seattle that I wasn't going to do this?
Wait, we want to start a Monday off by getting Mad Dog drunk?
Yes.
That's going to be a rough rest of the week.
Yes, it is for you guys. It really is. Yes. Listen, I support this idea because I'm not part of it. Do whatever you want. You know what I mean? I'm all about freedom of expression. Go ahead, guys.
I respect this one. The stupidest thing I've ever done and continue to do is listening to BJ and Migs in the morning.
There you go. That's the spirit.
Yeah, there are better choices to be made, but what can you do when people are dumb? I love that Tom Brady was on Good Morning America, and he talked about one of the dumbest things he ever did.
First of all, there was not a lot going through my mind at that point. I mean, that was not smart for a couple reasons. One is, if we drop it, that's a little bit of a problem. But the worst thing that could happen is the edges on that trophy are so sharp. And had those things clipped one of my boys in the other boat, it would have been an ugly parade.
Yeah, and of course he's talking about when he threw, which we thought that was amazing when he threw that Lombardi Trophy, and was it somebody caught it?
Yeah,
and we thought that was an amazing deal, and I'm glad he realizes, like, dude, yeah, you're throwing basically a weapon at somebody at that point because that thing is dangerous.
I'm sorry, I still think that was awesome. Yeah. He can think it was stupid. Sober Tom Brady thinks it's dumb, but drunk Tom Brady thought it was awesome.
Oh yeah, well that's a fact. You're absolutely right.
And he was so drunk.
He couldn't stand.
And especially because that's, for him, that's like the kind of drunk that you want to be. Because if he threw that and it fell off and sunk to the bottom, he's not going to have to do anything. Is they going to get scuba divers to go get it and stuff like that?
There would be a mad rush for everybody that was on the docks there to go down there and try to get that Lombardi trophy.
You know it.
That would have been a great scene, actually.
Yeah.
It would have been a madhouse. Who knows how it would have ended. But luckily, he is the GOAT, so he made a complete pass. That really is what it's all about. I'm interested in Vicky to see, because I feel like Vicky's done some interesting things in her life, and I'd like to know if, what you think is the dumbest thing you've ever done.
Well, dumbest thing I can talk about.
Oh, wow.
The statute of limitations has run out.
Already.
Dumbest thing is thinking that I could give myself a Brazilian.
Wow.
I could not. No.
Yeah, so is it because you just couldn't get to every place you wanted to get to, or just the whole idea was just you're not as good as a professional?
Not as good as a professional, and it wasn't working. Like,
it wasn't working.
Imagine you're waxing your legs, you're ripping it off. You're like, okay, there's, no more hair. It wasn't working. So all I'm doing is inflicting pain on myself and not getting any results.
Oh, really?
So I only got 2 strips in, and I'm like, I'm over it. I'm done. This is done.
And is there something? I mean, look, I don't understand why, if you can wax your legs, why you couldn't wax any part of your body. But did you find out why it wasn't working? Like, that makes no sense to me.
That would require me reading the instructions. And,
there we go.
I'm working around that area. I'm reading the instructions. I'm watching the YouTube tutorials. Right. I'm making sure I do this properly.
I would.
YouTube tutorials?
I don't know if there are any, but I'm sure there will be.
There really should be.
Try on Pornhub.
Yeah, there's probably thumbnails for that.
You think if you do your legs, it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't need to read the instructions. You just wax, rip, you're good.
Wax on, wax off.
I really can't argue with you, because that's kind of what I would think. I mean, what's the difference? It's grabbing onto to the hair in your body and ripping it off like it's supposed to.
Some things are just meant to be left to the professionals.
And so you just wrecked yourself and then no change at all? That's a beating.
No.
I mean, that's a beating, because if you were doing my back, which I've had a couple times, people have waxed my back, if you turned around and told me it was like looking the same way after the pain I went through, I would not be a happy boy.
No.
Well, fortunately, our rockaholics are always givers as well, and there's a few people willing to help you with that in the future.
Oh, are they?
Just check the text line.
Oh,
you mean wax BJ, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
That's
what we're talking
exactly
about.
what they're hoping to do.
That's what they're hoping for. They're hoping to see that accident waiting to happen. Oh, that's delightful.
Hey, a few people are sharing that the MD in the MD 2020 actually doesn't stand for Mad Dog.
Really? Doesn't?
Someone said I recently just learned that MD 2020, often called by its nickname Mad Dog, is actually it stands for the maker of it, Mogan David.
Oh, yeah, I know Mogan David. I think I know that name.
Why does Mogan David hate us?
I know. Yeah, I think they've made other alcohol, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the Mogan David Wine Company.
Yes, I totally know them. That's what Mad Dog is from Mogan David?
America's classic wine.
And so they said, hey, we got wine, but let's get a different type of wine that's going to just F up people the minute they get their hands on it. Yeah.
Wow, that is really wild. So Mad Dog is basically an affectionate nickname that probably describes what happens to you when you drink it.
I just thought it was that.
Yeah. Dude, I grew up, that's what we just called it, Mad Dog.
So then it's not really a Seattle drink, because Mogan David's a national company.
Well, I didn't grow up in Seattle. This was in New York when we were enjoying Mad Dog.
Oh, I totally thought it was it's the first time I ever saw it was Seattle. But then again, I wasn't a guy that really paid attention, so it could very well be. I always thought it was a Seattle thing, so turns out it's not.
And one texter says, you drink the red-colored Mad Dog, somehow you puke up green colors.
Well, you know
Science!
What? That's
Christmas.
Yeah. That's the trick. You know what will come back up?
Oh, it's like magic.
Find out with MD 2020. We got a woman that thought, this is, I'm always surprised whenever I hear stories like this. A woman thought she was passing a kidney stone while on the toilet, only to give birth to a baby. Yeah. And yeah, she didn't even know she was pregnant. You're going to hear from her at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's another listener question. How do I rebuild my credit after filing bankruptcy?
You rebuild it, one creditor at a time by making your payments on time, on your rent or your mortgage by continuing to make car payments on a car that you keep during your case. You can also, as I said, you can almost always get a credit card almost immediately after filing bankruptcy. Sometimes it's a secured card, and it'll almost always have a really high interest rate on it. But you can get a small balance credit card and charge a tank of gas or a dinner once a month on that, and make the payment, pay it off every month, and that'll help you build a credit history one creditor at a time, and will help you rebuild your credit over time.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.